What's going on, Washington fans? We are back with another video. So the Commanders just wrapped up day 2 of mandatory minicamp, and we have some good news, but some really bad news to get to today for the Washington Commanders. So before that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button. It would be greatly appreciated. Just hit that like button. It's free. And then go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Cannot do it without you. Hit that notification bell as well. Let's go ahead and get into recapping day 2 of mandatory minicamp for the Washington Commanders. So, like I said, we had a lot of news. Let's just break down this Dan Quinn presser real quick before we get to the actual practice. Dan Quinn had a lot to say. He talked about, the guys that were impressing him. He said, safety Percy Butler, linebacker Jordan McGee, and tight end Ben Sinnott are a few young players who, have stood out this offseason to Dan Quinn. He said that they have been impressing him. He talked a little bit about, the lines and how, the Lions coaches have been doing a good job of trying to get the best out of OTAs and minicamp and rookie minicamp. Even if, they're not in pads and stuff, they're trying to get the best out of that and their players, even if they can't hit much. And he talked about, the leaders on this team. Talked about Jeremy Reeves. Obviously, we all know, I made a video about it. Go watch it if you haven't. Jeremy Reeves contract extension. Talked about, Jeremy Reeves called him the BMF, the baddest MFer on the team. That's what he meant by that. So they gave him a contract extension. And then obviously more about Terry's contract, whatever. He just kind of sprinkled on that. Talked about how he's not really worried. He's really not worried. He's laid back and he's professional about it. So Dan Quinn's press conference, not much, about 14 minutes. Not much to pull out from that. Let's get to the actual practice for the Washington Commanders. So, first off, Michael Gallup is dealing with a hamstring strain. And you're going to notice one thing here. It was a really bad day for the wide receivers, for some of the wide receivers. First off, we'll start off. Michael Gallup is dealing with a hamstring strain. Wasn't on the field yesterday for minicamp, or today. Michael Gallup has been absent due to a hamstring strain. The Commanders hosted 100 high school coaches at the minicamp today. There was coaches spread out around. They did a live field pass. We got to see. They hosted 100 coaches from all around the district, and it was good for them to learn and see what Dan Quinn does and how he does things. There was 100 coaches, seemed really busy there on the live stream. That was interesting. Next thing is, today is a planned veteran rest day for Laramie Tunsil, Deron Payne, and Zach Ertz. So these veterans are getting rest days. I will say, if you are one of the people who wanted to see mandatory minicamp take place tomorrow, like I said, normally on Thursday, mandatory minicamp does not take place. They give these guys rest days, and you can start your summer vacation early. They're giving them a rest day today. Maybe they'll do something tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I hope, as we all hope. The players probably don't hope, though. So Laramie Tunsil, Deron Payne, and Zach Ertz were not out there. They had a veteran rest day. Luke McCaffrey continued to impress. The big talk was him yesterday. He really impressed, but today he continued to impress in the 7-on-7s and did really well, and he's kind of setting the tone for this year and kind of what this year is going to be for him, and how he can continue to step up. Another guy, Ben Sinnott, did really well these past 2 days. Noah Brown. Noah Brown with a fantastic inside-out move, and you'll hear stuff on Noah Brown later. Trust me, I'm going to get to that. I know what you guys are thinking. Noah Brown with a fantastic inside-out move on Marshawn Lattimore by the sideline. Open, throws on target, but Lattimore recovers and makes an aggressive play on the ball. Incomplete pass. Man, Lattimore, I know Noah Brown's not the best wide receiver, but he is here. Lattimore looks shifty. He said he's good. We'll kind of break down his press conference after this in a little bit. He's shifty. Everything seems to be back. He's healthy for once. He's getting a full off season. He's been training on his own, so it's a really good thing to hear. The Marshawn Lattimore's making plays out there. He has a burst back to him. Is also what he said. Next piece of news is the biggest and saddest piece of news of the day, and this is bad. Commanders wide receiver Noah Brown was carted off the field mid-practice during a 7-on-7 drill. So what happened was Noah Brown was trying to make a play, came down a little bit weird. It looked like a lower body injury, and it was during a 7-on-7 drill, and he was down for a little while, and eventually he got helped up and limped to the sideline with a towel on his head. When he got to the sideline, by assistance, he threw his helmet down, and that was the last we saw of Noah Brown. Not in good spirits. He got carted off the field. This is a huge loss for the Washington Commanders. We don't know the time span, but I'm going to guess this is probably at least a few month injury loss. Maybe he'll be back for training camp. We just hope we can get him by week 1. In a press conference 2 weeks ago, Cliff Kingsbury talked about it, how big it was to have Noah Brown back and healthy. He's the biggest receiver on this team. He does provide vertical assistance. Terry McLaurin's the other guy that can go downfield, but Noah Brown also as well. Noah Brown was one of the most targeted wide receivers on the Commanders last year. He was a big piece of everything. He was the chess piece almost of the wide receivers besides Terry McLaurin, and he was that number 2 guy. We expected him to have a big year this year. He still could. Maybe it's just a tweak. We got to hope it's a tweak, but he was carted off, the field in practice, and it's not looking good for Noah Brown. I believe he tore his ACL last year as well. Was that the injury? Noah Brown injury 2024. All right, let me find this real quick. I think it was an ACL injury. All right, let me see if I can find this. So he had he had a kidney injury. That was his injury last year, and during the 2024 season, Brown was hurt in week 13 and did not return to action during the team's playoff run. So he had a kidney injury. That was bad. Kept him out for a while, but we just got him back. He was healthy, doing really well in these drills too, and he got hurt, carted off the field. So Noah Brown is not in good shape right now. We got to hope he can be back soon, though. Next thing was, it was a physical practice. It was a really physical practice. Linnell Willingham says, and Noah Brown was helped off. He also writes, by the way, these clips you're going to see on the screen, shout out to NBC4 Sports, Scott Abraham, all the reporters who do a great job of getting these clips. Thank you. These are not mine. Thank you to them. All credit to them. And there will be some clips from yesterday in this video. So these are not my clips, though. Just want you guys to know that. Got to give the credit out. Andrew Wiley, once again, getting first-team reps at left tackle with Laramie Tunsil out. Like I said, Laramie Tunsil was out because of the veteran rest day today. Andrew Wiley was getting first-team reps at left tackle. Linnell Willingham reports Connerly with a nice pass set versus Jacob Martin. Good job dropping and anchoring for Josh Connerly Jr. against Jacob Martin, the veteran pass rusher on this unit. And then here's Jacob Martin. Really nice pass rush from Jacob Martin. No pads, but good rush for Jacob Martin. Dan Quinn, this was going back to his presser a little bit. He said that Brian Robinson looks really healthy and that the running back has had a good offseason. Linnell Willingham also reports Kane Medrano forced fumble on Deebo Samuel, scooped up by Carlin Vigors. Carlin Vigors is a UDFA cornerback. So Kane Medrano gets a forced fumble on Deebo Samuel, one of the biggest guys, one of the strongest guys. He gets a forced fumble, and it was scooped up by Carlin Vigors. So that's interesting to see. Interested to kind of see how Kane Medrano continues to develop. What position is he gonna play, safety or linebacker? So post pressers, we don't have much, but Marshawn Lattimore says, he was hurt last year but tried to press through it. Says he feels explosive now. Says he has his burst back. Guys, Marshawn Lattimore is back. He's in good shape right now. Marshawn Lattimore is back and he is normal. This is awesome. I cannot wait to see Marshawn Lattimore come back to his old form. He's looking really well now. Another guy that continues to impress, Trey Amos. Ben Sinnott impressed yesterday. Didn't hear much about him today. Deebo Samuel is really looking good. He's looking explosive. And then Luke McCaffrey, like I said, he looked really, really solid out there. And then Brandon Coleman's playing more of a guard position, as we thought. Brandon Coleman's going to play a guard position. He's not going to play tackle anymore. That's up to Connerly and Tunsil and even Andrew Wiley a little bit. So, but the biggest piece of news was the Noah Brown injury and him being carted off. I mean, the depth at the outside wide receiver could be a real issue if Noah Brown's going to be out for a while. This opens the door for a guy that I've talked about a lot, Ja'Cory Brooks. This is, really going to be his time to shine. Ja'Cory Brooks is UDFA, and he's been doing really well, but he's going to have to step up even more with Noah Brown being out. Chris Moore is also a guy who had a really good day yesterday, had a good day today as well. Chris Moore is a wide receiver, and he's been having a solid offseason. So far, and he's been doing really well. So excited to see what we have in Chris Moore, and I know we have something in Ja'Cory Brooks. As far as the running back room, B-Rob looks explosive. He looks pretty good. He dropped a pass yesterday in a clip I saw that was not good. And then Eckler's looks good. JCM looks really good. He keeps impressing everyone. So the rookies look good. Like I said, Kane Medrano got that forced fumble. The rookies look good. The UDFAs look good. The team looks pretty good overall in these drills. Jaden Daniels is continuing to shine. Jaden Daniels has been a guy that showing that he's QB1. He's making plays. He's dotting up people on the field. And then Javon Kinlaw, his big physical presence on the defensive line is really showing up in these practices. That's another thing I've heard. Javon Kinlaw has had a really good offseason so far, and he's been a guy that has shown up in a big way. He's done really well, and so I'm excited to see what we have in Javon Kinlaw. I think the best is yet to come for him, like Adam Peters said. I kind of agree with that. So excited to see what we have in him. And then once again, Terry McLaurin was not here today. If Terry McLaurin misses tomorrow, he'll be fined up to $100,000, which is a lot of money. So we'll see. He's going to probably miss. If he doesn't get the contract, he's going to miss. And Jeremy Reeves got a contract extension, but Terry McLaurin didn't. That's a little bit of a head scratcher, but you're not paying Jeremy Reeves that much money. But yeah, so this offense looks good. Like I said, Brian Robinson Jr. has been locked in so far this offseason. He's been really, really good. So excited to see what continues to keep happening. Like Brian Robinson Jr., just show up this year and do really well and try your hardest, and he'll be fine. And so everyone's been doing pretty good. The team looks good so far. All right, I will say that it was a physical practice today, getting more physical each time you come out. They did the tip drill. That's a really good drill. And they did, the cornerbacks. The cornerbacks go at each other one-on-one. Like it's like a wide receiver and a cornerback, except they're both cornerbacks, and that's a fun drill as well. These guys are working hard, and they might be back tomorrow. I don't know. Normally they have the third day off though, so I'll see if they are. Obviously, I'll give you the report. But that is all we got today, pretty much. Like I said, these clips are not mine, so make sure you guys go check out whoever I mentioned a little while ago, Mitch Tischler, John Keim, all the people that give out these clips, go check them out on X. That's where I get them. This team is doing well. Biggest piece of news, like I said, was the Noah Brown carted off. We have to continue to monitor that situation. He is a big guy. That's a big loss if he's out for a while. But everyone else has been doing good. They're doing fine. We're going to get the Terry McLaurin situation figured out. And so everything is going normal and how it should, besides the Noah Brown news. So this team's looking good. Everything's looking good so far. That is your mandatory minicamp day 2 update. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Go check out the video from earlier I posted about an hour ago on the Jeremy Reeves contract extension. That's going to do it for me. Hail to the Washington Commanders. As always, you guys have a great one. Until next time, peace.